Outside the world, what Jesus did in the 3 days between his death and resurrection, where Jesus was in the 3 days between his death and resurrection, is music, consumed. The four Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John report that Jesus was crucified for about 6 hours before passing away. In his final moments, he uttered the immortal words, "It is finished," recorded in the book of John 19 verse 30. Then he bowed his head and yielded his spirit. His body remained on the cross for a short time before being taken down and wrapped for burial by Joseph of Arimathea with the help of Nicodemus. 3 days later, his body and spirit reunited, and he rose from the dead. After his resurrection, he appeared to his disciples, starting with Mary Magdalene. Then he ascended into heaven. However, many wonder what happened in the 3 days between his death and resurrection, where Jesus went, and what he did. This episode will attempt to answer these questions. The Bible, especially the Synoptic Gospels, does not provide a comprehensive account of Jesus' activities during these 3 days, also known as the descent into hell or the harrowing of hell. The Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John primarily focus on the events leading to Jesus' crucifixion and his resurrection. The period between his death and resurrection is more rooted in theological interpretations and traditions than in explicit biblical narratives. However, we can understand this crucial period based on some clear revelations about Jesus' whereabouts during his crucifixion. Jesus was placed alongside 2 thieves. One of them asked Jesus to remember him when he entered his kingdom, to which Jesus replied, "Today you will be with me in paradise," Luke 23 verse 42. This suggests that after his death, Jesus went to paradise or heaven. This makes sense because in his final breath, Jesus yielded his spirit into the hands of God, which, as we know, could only be in a place of bliss and eternal love, namely heaven. There is also an interesting account of Jesus' whereabouts in 1 Peter 3 verses 18 to 20, which states that after his death, Jesus made a proclamation to the spirits who were disobedient during the time of Noah. Although the text does not detail exactly what Jesus said to these imprisoned spirits, it seems unlikely that it was a message of redemption because angels cannot be saved according to Hebrews 2 verse 16. Probably Jesus proclaimed his victory over Satan and his followers. Another biblical passage that speaks about the whereabouts and activities of Jesus in the 3 days between his death and resurrection is in Ephesians 4 verses 8 to 10. It says that when Jesus ascended, he led captives and gave gifts to his people. The interpretation suggests that after securing salvation on the cross, Jesus gathered all the righteous who were in paradise and took them to his permanent dwelling in heaven. This would include people like Abraham, David, Joshua, Daniel, Lazarus, and the thief on the cross. Another possible interpretation of Ephesians 4 is that in the 3 days between death and resurrection, Jesus defeated and imprisoned our spiritual enemies, namely the devil, death, and the curse of sin. Then he ascended victoriously to heaven as God. This perspective also finds support in Matthew 12 verse 40, which compares Jesus' stay on earth with the 3 days and 3 nights of Jonah in the belly of the great fish. Finally, it is important to note that the exact details of what occurred during these 3 days are not explicitly outlined in the Bible. Different Christian traditions have various perspectives on the matter. However, we have Jesus' own words on the matter, "Today you will be with me in paradise." This gives us the confidence to affirm that he went to paradise after proclaiming his victory over death and completing his work of redemption. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know who you'd like to see in our next videos. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. For us, you're not just another subscriber. You're the main pillar of this channel. Until next time.